Hello and welcome back, everybody, as we are joined by Candy Panda from SK Gaming. Congratulations, Candy Panda. Nice finish to you guys, a super week. Tell me what the priorities were coming out of Picks and Bans.
Well, for this game, we wanted to pick like more coordinated, because yesterday we made a lot of mistakes in the team comps. The team, like the champions, didn't really synergize. We picked Zed and Wayne, both split pushers, and we couldn't really use it in the mid game. In this game, we wanted to concentrate more on synergy in the picks.
And what about the Kale support pick? Because you're obviously with Sivir, you have Kale support on N-rated. Tell me about Kale as a support. What do you think is strong about it? Do you think there's any weakness with it, maybe?
Yeah, so the weakness is that she can't really punish the lane. Like, you can only push, but you can't really engage like you can with Annie. So it's a different playstyle, but it synergizes so well with the bruisers top that I played, like Irelia and Jax and Aatrox, those kind of champions. So it fits really well. You just have to care you don't get punished in lane.
And talking about the Jax, of course, this time around you had Jax on your side against Aatrox. Can you maybe tell me a little bit about the matchup itself and what you felt going into the game with it?
Yeah, so I think Jax beats Aatrox, but when we played with ROccat the first time, they played actually Jax and we played Aatrox, but I don't think it was such a popular matchup back then. So we had that part because Freddy played a lot of Aatrox, so we knew how the matchup went, and Success probably never played with Aatrox. So this time the matchup is a lot more trained by both players, so this time Jax beats Aatrox, because that's just how it is. Like, the champions just work that way. So yeah, we just had to care. Like, Freddy died 3 times, but because he didn't lose farm, he just died when he was pushed up. So when he came back to lane, he had like 30 creeps at his tower, and he got the farm he needed.
Tell me a little bit about Svenskar in this game on Evelyn, because to us it seemed like he was absolutely everywhere. Was he just doing that because he knew where Jankos was going to be all the time, or how did it work?
Yeah, like, jungle isn't only about seeing the other jungler, it's also like, you can see if your mid lane is pushing in and your bot lane is pushing in, like, okay, let me say it different, like, if all 3 lanes are pushing in, and Jax is like the only one who can really snowball, like, Sivir Kale is not going to snowball like a Wayne does. Like, Jax was the one who snowballed, so you know that the Wukong is probably going to gank the lane that can snowball the most. So we knew he was probably top all the time, because bottom Sivir Kale is really hard to kill. Like, they have a speed boost, 2 speed boosts actually, they have a shield and they have the Kale ultimate, so it's really hard to kill. Lulu mid as well with 6. You have no kill potential.
And look about the game in general then, because it never really looked like you guys were in trouble, except for obviously the ganks onto Freddy, but then Svenskar was there to counter gang. What is your view on the game in general, and was there ever a time where you're like scared of losing?
No. Even when Freddy died, he said like, I got the farm I need. Like, he was 0-3 and he said, guys, you're not going to believe me, but I'm actually pretty fat. So it wasn't like worrisome. Also because our picks synergized so well that it was not a problem. The only time was when we realized we can't really dive them like we normally do. Normally we play like Annie and Pantheon to just go ham on them and dive them, but this time we had to play it different. We went as used to the playstyle, so we had to figure out how we play it.
Tell me then, the final boost you had for ending the game was obviously when you got the Baron. Not so easy for Svenskar to get it versus the Ziggs bomb. Were you afraid that he might lose it?
Actually, I didn't even think of the Ziggs bomb. We just saw Wukong mid, he wasn't in smite range, and Sven is a good jungler, so I was confident he was gonna smite it.
And then looking at the team after a win like this, obviously everything is working for you guys, you have a good position in the league, a strong team. What is actually, in your opinion, the best thing about this lineup you have now?
The problem-solving ability. I think we all work really well together. If one thinks something doesn't work, the other people, or the one who plays the champion that doesn't work, like, he can see the reason. He just doesn't go stubborn and like says, "Nah, I want to play this champion." We like work well together, and I think it shows.
Do you feel that you have some of your pressure alleviated off your shoulders, because a couple of weeks ago you were going, I have to pick the champion that I can carry with the most? Has it changed in your mind?
We still play kind of AD heavy, but we adapted different playstyles. Like this game, I don't think I did my job, but I wasn't the one who carried. It was more the Jax. So I think it shows that we can play different styles, and we're not as predictable, where before, okay, Kenny's going to play Caitlyn or Wayne, and he's going to get, like, Sven is going to camp his lane to win the game. So this time, or like over the past weeks, we learned like different playstyles.
Talking about the AD carries then, because we've seen more and more Draven, Mr. Alice played it, Taps played it. Are we going to see Candy Panda play Draven? And what's your opinion about the champion?
I can't play Draven, like, it's too much at once. Like, taking care of the access and the last hit and the positioning is like, you have to invest so much time into Draven that either you're like Draven and you have like 500 games on Draven, or you're not Draven, like, you're a bad Draven. Because you have to invest so many games on Draven that it's just not worth it for me.
All right, well, congratulations once again. You guys at home, at the top of the show, we asked you to get us on to get on Twitter and tell us which position and pro do you feel is having the biggest impact in the European LCS this split and why. And here are just a few of the fantastic answers you sent in. The first one is from @blueslight37, jungler in EU. They have been integral to nearly every big play in this split, and amazing has led the charge. But make a case for Svenskeren right now as well.
Well, I completely agree. I actually think jungle is the most important role in this meta. We see it in every single game. Last game is a perfect example. Both junglers ganked, counter-ganked. Pretty much the entire early game is dictated by the junglers, if they can predict where each other are or maybe snowball a lane. And we see it over and over again, so I agree with this. And of course, amazing. It's been fantastic.
Second one is from @MobiusLol. Support and their new gold flow getting more items have the biggest impact, as you saw yesterday with Edward's rampage on his 400 AP Annie. I don't need to remind you of that.
Yeah, that's true. But it wasn't actually a game with us, it was with someone else. But still, it was pretty scary. So yeah, supports, like, they have more gold to play with. And that's why you see like more playmaking supports, like Annie, Leona, and Trash. So yeah, it's really strong. Like, they can do a lot more.
You feel useless?
Yeah, but...
Oh, not at all. The third one is from @BastioliNoobs. I think the mid laners still have a huge impact on the game, especially Alex, Ish, Froggen, and Overpow.
We see it again time and time when they play assassins, win the lane, then they roam to the other lanes, pick up some kills, or when they play Carthus, for instance, just farm away, have the ultimate to provide help in the other lanes. And yeah, mid lane will always be important, but for me, just a little bit outshined by the jungle at the moment.
All right, well, as always, keep the conversation going by tweeting to us @LOL Esports, and remember to